Now, this whole customer journey has to be different, right? During the new norm right now. Now, here's the truth. The nature and the behavior of people from 1,000 years ago and right now is exactly the same. Their aspirations, what they want, what they feel that they have to get is exactly the same. The only difference is the platform they use and the way they speak. All right. The way they speak might be different right now because we follow the modern lingo, but what we want inside, right, our desires are exactly the same 1,000 years ago and right now. The platforms we use might be different. We use things like Facebook, we use things like Instagram, whichever, but it's exactly the same. So we talk about customer journey. So what is really a customer journey? Now, you probably have heard about the sales funnel. So we have heard of sales funnel. We heard of conversions funnel. We have heard of the R funnel, aka the Pirate Funnel by Dave McClure, right? Do you know the AARR? Just type it down in the chat section if you know what that stands for. All right, so we have a few funnels there, but it all relates back to the same. So it's all the same thing. R funnel, conversion funnel, sales funnel, customer journey is the same thing. And it always looks like a sales funnel. It's always a funnel here. So this is a quick funnel that I got online that shows exactly the simple ways of looking at a funnel itself. So we are looking at this as a customer journey itself. All right. So first of all, in the top of the funnel, every customer today has a need, right? We all have needs today. So your customers have needs today. We have a need to eat. We have a need to feed. We need to impress. A need to stay healthy. What else? A need to fulfill their boredom. A need to fulfill their whatever desires. A need to be fulfilled, right? We all have needs today. What is your customer's need? Now, once you know your customer's need, how do you then find better clients? But the better question to ask is, how do better clients find you? Right? So this think about that for a moment. Instead of finding better clients, how do better clients find you? So once we actually understand this whole mindset in our mind, then comes to the awareness stage, right? So we know that our customers has a need. Now, how would your customers find you? Now, some examples that we do before would be things like PR, right? We go on radio. Maybe on Facebook, you post out something on Facebook, on a Facebook group somewhere, or you run some ads on Facebook to let people to be aware of you, right? Or you post things on forums, you go to, I don't know, whichever, right? Now, most people rely on their network and their word of mouth, right? So this is why people join networking groups. You see people joining things like BNI. Who here knows what BNI is? BNI, people join Toastmasters, people go into WhatsApp groups, auntie and uncles. They go into WhatsApp groups, people join Facebook groups to be part of this community, to be part of this network, so they can actually rely on word of mouth. Now, the problem in this, in word of mouth is this. Word of mouth can be unpredictable, all right? You never know when someone's going to actually give you a referral or not. So you have to actually architect how people find you. So marketing is still the same before the new norm and even in the future. Two questions again is, who is your customer and where to get them? So I'm going to give you some examples, right? So at Lead, we teach courses, data science courses, full stack courses, digital marketing courses. So who are we targeting? Now, if I know my audiences who are digital marketers would love a software like MailChimp. By the way, MailChimp is an email marketing software. I'm sure most marketers would have heard of MailChimp. So if I know my audience love MailChimp, what I'll do is I'll advertise the MailChimp spends on Facebook. So go to Facebook ads, target these people based on interest on MailChimp and target their fans. So this is one way we target people on Facebook, right? So we know who our audience are. They like MailChimp, right? They also spend time on Facebook, and therefore we use Facebook ads to target them. Now, it's not always easy to figure out where your customers are hanging out at, right? The internet is a large space. We're just talking about the internet digital world now, right? We're not talking about the offline world yet. But we know that our customers are hanging out somewhere, and it's not always easy to figure out where they are hanging out. So a few things I want to show you today. So one of the things you can do is to check your analytics, and this is in using things like Google Analytics. So I have two tactics of two ways basically to check your analytics to find out where people are actually hanging out at. So go to your Google Analytics. I hope you have a Google Analytics. Please install that on your site. Go to your Google Analytics, go down to acquisition, go down to all traffic, and the first thing you're going to see is channels. So channels will basically tell you where your audience are coming from. So from this screenshot here, you can see that we have the organic search, social, direct, email, and referral. But one very important thing is to look at the conversions from those sources. You can begin to see which channels is actually giving you the conversions that you want. And this is all from Google Analytics, yeah? You don't have to go very far to be able to do this. All right. So the second thing you're going to see is under Google Analytics, go down to all traffic again and go down to your referrals section. If you have Google Analytics available today, you can begin to see all this is inside Google Analytics itself. So this is what I normally do. I'll see which is my highest or best platform itself, which one gives me most sales itself. And then I'll go there and focus there. Can I run an ad on that platform? Can I do something on that platform? Right? So this is some way to think about it. Now, the second way of understanding where your users are actually hanging out at is to ask your current customers where they go to. Now, this is something that I feel a lot of businesses do not do. Once they sell something to a customer, they leave the customer just like that, right? So one very important thing to do is to ask the customers things. And the best way to do that is to email them. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to use something like MailChimp and email your customers and say, hey, where do you hang out at? Can you let me know? Right? And once they get back with your answers, compile them and see the highest number of platform sites and places that they go. So let's just say you find out most of your audiences or customers hang out at maybe entrepreneur.com. Now, is there some way you can work out a partnership or an ad campaign with entrepreneur.com to get more customers from that, right? So the first way, what we have done earlier is we have architect a way to let our customers be able to find us. All right, so that's the awareness stage. Now, after that, we come down to the evaluation stage, right? Now, why should customers return to you after comparing your others? What's going to happen next is after they find out about you, they're going to evaluate what you have to offer, your products, your services. Now, customers will compare and evaluate whether you're worth it or not. And we all do it ourselves. Before we buy something, we compare things, right? And the truth is this, no amount of marketing can save a product that nobody wants. So the best way to find out whether your product is something that people want is to forget all the Facebook ads, websites, or domains and go and sell it to someone, three person within 48 hours and see if you can at least sell to 3 people in 48 hours. If you can't, that product is probably something that people do not want. All right. Now, after we've gone through the evaluation stage, we then go down to the consideration stage. Now, this is where your customers would consider buying your products or not. So this is the friction stage where they actually look at, should I buy your product? What is the risk if I buy into your product and I don't get what I receive, right? So this is where we look at putting out guarantees and also warranties, right? Now, one thing I want to show you in terms of digital marketing that we can use to understand our customers' consideration and behavior is by using video recordings on our site itself. So this will be video recording on Lucky Orange, which is a video recording software and a heat map software. I'm going to show you what it does here. I'm going to play this video. Hopefully it's smooth enough, but I want you to take a look at this. It'll take about 1 minute. But what you're seeing here right now, I hope this is smooth, is a recording of a visitor on our webpage itself. So as a marketer, I'm going to look at that recording and see and put myself in the shoes of this user, right? What is this guy or girl looking at, right? What is available to them? So observe that for a while. This take about a minute. What do you think this person sees? Now, by the way, this recording is done at 2 times the speed because I don't want to waste time on this live session. So take a look at what this visitor is looking at. All right, he's looking at the price, right? What else is he looking at? He's looking at the bottom. He went all the way to the bottom. That's great. And now he or she starts clicking on the Q&A portion, the FAQ portions. Now, something I can think of here is, why can't we put the FAQ portions above the page if this person is engaging with the Q&A sections? So think about that for a moment. Now, there's a few tools you can do this for your website. I've placed down here on the right-hand side, you can see this one here you see on the screen is called Lucky Orange, which is affordable for a lot of people. We have things like Hotjar, Full Story. Go and explore that. I think this gives you and educates you about the behavior of your users. So really important. Now, one more thing I want to show you to understand your customer's digital journey is to use Google Analytics again. And this is known as the User Explorer within Google Analytics. So how do you find this? Let's go to Google Analytics, hit up Audience, and under User Explorer, you can begin to see down by a single user, their journey, right? So I'm going to show you a quick example of this. So what you're seeing here on my screen is an example of a customer who came to our site. So on Google Analytics, you can see that this visitor viewed our landing page at 9:01 on April 22nd. All right, I know I'm going a bit fast, but take a look at it. 9:01, this person came inside. Now, he or she spent 14 minutes, actually 13 minutes on our site itself. So they spent 13 minutes. And you can see that they clicked to check out at 9:15 after reading the landing page, but did not actually purchase. Now, so some thought processes here. Can we retarget these people with ads? Or what's the messaging we should tell this person, right? After they actually check out our page, look at our landing page, put in their product into their cart, but did not buy. Can we retarget them with Facebook ad? And what should we tell them to get them back into buying our products, right? Now, the next thing you can see is 2 days later, on April 24, our same visitor came back via social media. Again, you can see that we have social on a desktop at 9:24 a.m. But then he or she left quite quickly after 8 seconds, just 8 seconds. So I'm assuming that he or this person, this visitor, has the browser open on, the tab open on his browser. Okay, so something we can learn here is that our visitor came back 2 days later and spent only 8 seconds before they go off. Now, after that, at night, 12 hours later, this visitor came back and viewed the page for 18 seconds. He or she is still considering. And then at 9:56 p.m., about an hour after that, he or she came back, went to and fro pages, and finally makes a purchase at 10:13 p.m. So these basically are the steps of what this visitor have done. So what we have learned here is our users actually go to and fro pages a lot, right? So can we assign an operator or chatbot at the checkout page to help, since they're going to and fro a lot, trying to make decisions, right? Or can we put in a product reassurance to guarantee their itself? Can we simplify the checkout process? And we know that this visitor or this customer took 2 to 3 days to make one purchase. So this is what we call the customer journey on the digital marketing world. And you can actually analyze all this from Google Analytics, and you should do that. All right, so once they go into consideration, the next thing is then where the magic happens. So the magic happens when your customers consume what you have. This is when they buy and become and turn into a customer, when they buy your products or services. And what's going to happen here is, well, you meet their expectations and hopefully exceed what they expected. Now, this is going to be on your product or service end. And then finally, they become advocates. They share our products. Now, we see a lot of this happening with restaurants, right? When we go to restaurants, when the food is good, right? You take a picture, you post it up on Facebook because it's good, right? Now, does your customer do that for your business itself? So what we've just seen there is the journey of a customer from a stranger, getting aware about your business, going through your business, right? Considering whether to buy your products or services or not, making a purchase, consuming a product, and then if your product is great and exceeds their expectations, they become a fan, they share your products on social media or whichever they want to, right? Now, the thing is, if you want more leads, focus on the top of funnel. So we put all our focus on the top of funnel. For example, this would be the awareness and evaluation stage of the customer journey. So what we have learned here is that a purchase is not a single operation. A lot of people think that they put out an ad, put out a blog post, or put out just something up there, and they want a single operation to happen. So they see an ad, buy. They see an ad, buy. It doesn't happen that way, right? We all know this. So the customer journey is basically a series of micro conversions. If you think about it for a moment, right? Think about it and relate it back to your business itself. You understand and you see that every parts of the touch points that your customers get into touch with your business is a micro conversion. So if you look on the right here, you can see that first of all, they probably stumble upon your ad, maybe on Facebook, maybe on Instagram, depending on where and who your customers is, they stumble upon your ad, right? That's a micro conversion. If they click on that ad, maybe you'll show them a video next, right? That's also another micro conversion. Are they watching a video or not? Then it goes back into maybe entering a newsletter. So every part of the customer journey is a micro conversions. And our job as a marketer is to help our customers move through that levels of commitment from being a stranger, go down into becoming a customer.